Valentine's Day is just around the corner, so we've come to ask London students about their worst first dates.
My worst date, I'm not going to go into the details, but essentially I was running away from my parents and I gave him a nosebleed and then got caught at the end of it by my parents. So that it didn't go, nothing went well that day. Me and the guy got along well afterwards. It was just the day was quite traumatic.
My brother was extraordinarily catfished when he went to a party with my cousins and met this girl, and they were chatting and he got on well with her and then left and didn't really get her number. Anyway, my cousin texted being like, hey, that girl was asking after you, can I pass on your number? So my brother and this girl start texting and she's like, oh, should we go for a drink? Anyway, they choose a pub, get there at 6 o'clock. He's looking around and she's like, oh, I'm upstairs. He looks around, goes upstairs. And all he sees is my cousin just sat in an armchair with a pint, having texted my brother, being this girl from his work phone that my brother didn't have the number for. And so, yeah, he went on a date with what he thought was going to be this beautiful girl he'd met at a party, and it just turned out to be my fat cousin with a pint.
We basically spent the entire time walking around Greenwich, and it was nice. It was a nice day. It was a nice stroll, but the conversation was basically him bitching about all of his friends and about random people we'd see on the street. So he'd go oh, look at that woman, what is she wearing? I can't believe she stepped out of the house like this. And I just had to be there cool. He did text me afterwards, and I'm ashamed to admit I didn't say anything back. I just didn't do it. I was just like, no, thank you.
You just ghosted him?
Yeah, I did.
The girl I was with, we went to a restaurant, and halfway through, it turned out on her phone she had this tracking system that her parents knew about.
Yeah, that's what my parents were stalking me with.
We didn't date. I think that needs to be clear. This wasn't our date. But halfway through the date, the girl said, oh, my mum doesn't know I'm dating a boy, and I got to go back to campus right now, but can we continue the date there? So we just ended up back in New Hunt's House Library, running to New Hunt's House Library at the end of the day and cutting it short, just paying the bill at the door.
We have a friend who, we were supposed to have a double date, and then it ended up being a triple date. What ends up happening is our dates fall through, we just meet up. He's stuck on the river now with this girl who's pushing very heavily to go back to his with him, and he's very strictly Muslim, right? And this girl's also not his cup of tea. But in the meantime, writes on the group chat, guys, call me ASAP. So when we call, he's just oh, your brother's in hospital, how could you have done that? And he starts shouting, and then in the end, ditches the girl, tells her to take the bus, I'm gonna head. And then when she takes the bus, he just walks back into his house and just doesn't care. She thought he was going to hospital, he just walks away. We see her on campus all the time, actually. It's really awkward. But you can't walk around to GDS anymore because we know she lives there.